Hello, good afternoon everyone. So this video is how to prepare an activity distribution sheet or ADS for a client for a specific month. So the first thing you'll need is a copy of the previous month's template for the client will be working on. For this training vid, we will be using the file for Connect Now ADS since I'll be preparing the ADS for the client today. So you'll find the ADS templates here in Google Drive under the Mercurian ADS folder and just look for the folder of the client you'll be preparing ADS for. So here's the folder of Connect Now, and since I'll be preparing a January 2014 ADS for this client, I will need the latest file, which is the December 2013 ADS. So let's open the file. Before anything else, save as the file and rename it. So I'll save this as Connect Now Activity Distribution Template January 2014, and I'm saving the file on my desktop for now. Whenever you prepare ADS, I highly recommend that you um, save a copy in your local drive, your desktop or laptop, so that if ever anyone changes or mistakenly deletes the file in the Google Drive, you still have a backup of the template. Before we update this template, let's run um, rank checks for the keywords here. We have 71 keywords here, so let's run them into batches. This is the first batch. I'll run them in Firefox Rank Checker. Be sure to change identities in the Anonymous extension in Firefox so that you can change your IP address every time you do rank checks. So let's run the first set of keywords here, and then for the domain name, press start and just leave it running in the background while you update the ADS file. So if you are running the keywords in different batches, I suggest that you highlight the cell where you the cell for the last keyword that we ran in Firefox Rank Checker so that you won't be confused later for the next batches of keywords. So while running the rank checks, we'll update the file here. So as you see here, we have different months, and basically the ADS will show you the points allocated for every keyword of the client for every month. So the total of the points allocated will depend on the points package of the client. So for Connect Now, we have 175 points. So if you check at the bottom, you'll notice that the total points allocated will range from 177, 176, 175, and so on. So you can exceed the points plan, yung 175, but just for a few points lang dapat. Aside from the points allocated for every keyword, for every month, we also have here different columns for ATVs or anchor text variants. So the highlights here will just show you how many times we use that ATV already for the specific keyword. So each of the highlights there have meaning and can easily tell you how frequent you use the ATVs. And it's also the same for the domain types. Yung ASMs, highlights for EASIM, GPFs, Redo, QNA, link wheels, SADR, local directories. So I'll show you the color coding guide later. Aside from ATV and link types, we also have here data for every keyword, broad and exact local monthly searches, and we also have the computation, CPC, and keyword values, page rank, Alexa, domain age, and backlinks for the client. So that this data above, we update this every time we do ADS. So I'll show you later how to update the values here. And lastly, we have the rank data for every month. So let's update the highlights first. So for cluster 2, we have a color coding guide. So the default color is yung no fill, meaning if it doesn't have a fill or color yet, it means that we haven't allocated an ATV or a link type for that keyword yet. And for second usage allocation, we use yellow. And then for the succeeding allocations, we use purple, green, orange, and pink. We use the color palettes here, yung from darkest to lightest shade to indicate how many times we've used the ATV or link type for that keyword. So for example, the color is yellow as of today, and if we update this, it will be changed to purple, darkest purple. So if you are updating the ADS next month, you'll use the lighter shade of purple next time. So I'll just send you a copy of this ADS color coding guide for our cluster 2 ADS, so you won't be confused every time we update yung files natin. So let's insert a column here for the January 2014 points allocated. I'll just hide these columns so you won't be confused with the points allocated for the previous months. And for the columns here, you'll see four columns, yung C, R, P, and K. C is just C column shows you the change column data in the rank data here. R stands for the current rank data for that keyword. P P column is about the previous rank data for every keyword. And the last column, yung K, uh, this column is for the exact monthly searches for every keyword. So I'll just delete this data here. I just quickly update the highlights. So for this one, it has no highlight before and it was first used the previous month. So I'll put yellow highlight here. And for this one, the same, yellow highlight again. Let's do this for the other allocations with no highlight before. Let's put yellow. For the ones that have yellow highlights before, according to the guide, we will use the darkest purple. Be sure to delete the X so it won't be too confusing later on. So let's update the ones with yellow highlights before. For this one, it's already highlighted purple before. So what we need to do today is to assign a lighter purple shade. The same for the others, lighter shade. And don't forget to delete the X, the previous allocation. So it's important that we update these highlights properly for us to know how many times we've allocated or used that ATV already for that specific keyword. Kasi if you see, for example, very light colors here, it means that you've allocated several times already or used that ATV already for that specific keyword. So we are finished with the ATV highlights. Let's update naman the highlights for the link types. We just update the cells with previous allocation. So here, we will use the lighter shade and I'll also delete the previous points allocated. And do the same for the other link types. Just refer to the guide that I sent, your color coding guide, every time you highlight or update the highlight so you won't be confused. it's quite time consuming, yung updating of the highlights since we have to go over each of the cells carefully. It's also important that um, we update the highlights properly. Maybe the colors will be quite confusing for you at first, but as you get used to preparing ADS, it will be easier to highlights, update the highlights. So let's check to see if you properly highlighted um, all the cells already. You can check the total points here if there are no points left. So the points here must be back to 0 before you allocate points for the current month. So let's just check while updating the ADS. Let's just check the progress of the rank checks. So it's finished na pala. So let's export to CSV. Let's run the next batch of keywords. Don't forget to change the identity or IP address every time you do rank checks. Let's add the keywords here and also the main name. And let's run the rank check. So while running the rank check in the background, let's continue updating our ADS file. So this should be January 2014 since we are preparing an January 2014 ADS file. And for this data here, let's update. So let's open Connect now. So for checking page ranks, I usually use this SEO Site Tools extension for Chrome. So based on the data here, page rank for Connect Now is 4. So yeah, it's 4 already. For Alexa, I have here SEO Quick extension for Chrome, and it shows the Alexa rank already. So I'll just copy and paste here in our file. For the domain age, I'll just copy the age shown here by SEO Quick and paste that in this Wolfram Alpha. So let's paste here the age of Connect Now and let's wait for the results. So just get the years data. So 12.24 years. Let's update 12.24 years. For the backlinks, this is what I usually do. So let's copy the home page and open the basic SEO. Paste here the um, domain. Let's wait for the results. Be sure to select root domain and historic index. So root domain and historic index here to show the correct data. So backlinks for Connect now for due to Majestic SEO is around 2 million. So let's copy that here. So we're all set for the data here above. And then for the rank columns, for the rank data, let's copy the previous month's rank data here. Let's hide the URL column and update the months and dates here. So I'll put January 2014 and the date when you gather the rank data. So today is January 19, 2014. Let's delete the previous data here. Be sure to copy the correct formula for the change column. So let's drag and drop up to the last keyword. Let's check the progress of the rank check. So it's still not finished yet. So while waiting for the rank checks to be completed, what we can do is to update the data here for these columns here. So since we don't have the data for the change and current rank columns, we'll just use the previous rank data. So let's filter. So we need the previous rank data in December 2013 ranks. What we need to do is to sort from smallest to largest. So let's copy the December 2013 ranks and paste the data under the P column. So for the highlights, this is what I usually do. For ranks 1 to 10, I'll highlight them the darkest orange. For 11 to 20, the second orange in the color palette, second shade of orange. And it's actually up to you how you will update the color shades. Up to your own range. I forgot to mention pala that the highlights here should be, for the C column, it should be red and black. So red for the negative change and black for the drops. Please take note. For the R column, it should be green, different shades of green. For the P column, it should be orange, different shades of orange. And for the last column, yung K, the exact multi-searches, it should be blue, the different shades of blue here. So, we're all done for the previous rank data. So, the next thing we need to do is to update the data for the K column, the exact multi-searches. So, for this one, what we need to do is to sort from largest to smallest. So, largest exact multi-searches to smallest multi-searches. For the highlights here, it should be blue. Blue for the largest, for the highest exact monthly search. And then the lighter shades of blue for the succeeding lower monthly searches. Highlighting is also still up to you how you will assign the highlights as long as it's the correct color. And that's it for the K column, yung exact monthly search. Let's check the progress of the round checks. So it's all done. But let's export. So to save time in doing VLOOKUP for the rank checks, for the rank data, what I do is to combine the um, rank data is to combine the files for the ranks, for the rank checks. So I'll copy the second batch of rank data here and paste this to my first file. Let's save as a new file, CN119. So this is the collated rank data now for all the keywords. Now we can do a VLOOKUP for the ranks. So let's do VLOOKUP. Lookup value is the keyword. Wait, I'll just sort the numbers here from smallest to largest. Okay, let's do VLOOKUP. Lookup value is the keyword we'll be searching data for. Table array is this one. Column index number is second. And lookup is false. Let's just drag and drop up to the last keyword. And it will automatically update and change volume since we have formulas for that column already. After VLOOKUP, be sure to copy and paste values only so that the VLOOKUP formula will be written. For the URL, let's VLOOKUP again. Let's do VLOOKUP again. copy and paste as values only so the VLOOKUP formulas will be removed. And after filling out the rank data, let's update the values. So this should be new. There it is. New. As you can see, there are several keywords that decrease in rankings. So we'll work on those keywords. So let's continue updating our ADS. For the first column here, you'll see it's the change column here from the latest rank data. So this is also sorted from smallest to largest. Let's copy up to the last negative change. Let's paste here as values only and highlight. So for the highest drop, usually assign the darkest red. For the succeeding, it's up to you how you manage the highlights. If there is a drop, be sure to update the color here. So for example, moving home, mag-drop siya from top 200. So you must put a blank highlight here to indicate that it has a rank before but now it has no rank now. So since we don't have a keyword that dropped totally from rank 200, we won't need the black highlight. After the change column, we will need the data from the latest rank check. So it's also arranged from smallest to largest. Let's copy and update and paste here as values. So highlighting is also up to you. So we are done with the highlighting. So after highlighting, be sure to sort the numbers again from smallest to largest so that the arrangement of keywords will be back to the original arrangement. So as a recap, we updated the highlights here and removed the previous allocations. For the color coding, just refer to the color coding guide that I sent you before. And for the columns here, the first column is highlighted red, different shades of red. So it's the change column from the latest rank data. So the darkest red here simply means that the keyword ranked the lowest. And then as the rank drop, it's up to you what shade of red to assign. So for the first column, highlighted red. For the second column, this is the current rank data. So this is highlighted green. For the third column, this is the previous rank data. So this is highlighted orange. So for current rank and previous ranks, as the ranks go lower, the shade of the highlights also go lighter. So the darkest ones that you see here, it means that those keywords have high ranks. And lastly, for the K column, this is the exact monthly searches data. So the darkest highlight here, yung darkest blue, it simply means that this keyword has the highest exact monthly search value. And as the exact monthly search value decreases, the blue highlight also lightens. So we're all set for the highlights and the updating of allocations. So we can start on the link type allocation. Let's hide the ATV columns first. Let's focus on the link type allocation.